What's up, fellas, and welcome back to my channel.
He's got it all figured out. It's what they all say, yeah. Everyone's looking at me thinking that I'm different. Everyone's looking at me thinking that I'm living. But I don't really care what they all say.
So today I'm here to talk about how to get scholarships to study in the US as an international student. So talk all about it, the full rights, resources, and I'll be describing the procedure and how you should go through it. So first off, there's a lot of scholarships available. You just need to take the time out of your day and research. There's a bunch of organizations and ways through which you can find scholarships. Through your embassy, through the institutions itself, and through organizations that give you scholarships to study on the certain institution. So the first step to find a scholarship is finding the colleges and the scholarships organizations to which you want to apply to. There's a bunch of resources for you to find the colleges that you're interested in and scholarships organizations that can help you with it. There is MasterCard Foundation, which is basically a scholarship organization to which you apply to, and then they connect you to a bunch of partnership or institutions that may want you as a student. The thing about MasterCard Foundation, it is for low-income African students, but you can't really choose which institution you will go to. The institutions are the ones that either choose you or not. There's also the College Board college search option, to which I have all the links down below to the scholarships and everything that I'll be talking about. Scholarships organizations, links for you to find schools and scholarships, and a bunch of stuff. Through that, you just put your preferences, your major, where you want to go, and everything. And you also need to click financial aid for international students. After that, they will show you a bunch of schools that you can apply to that will meet your financial need. There is also a website called edupass.org. I've never used it, but it seems really helpful. It has a bunch of resources for you to search to. There's also internationalstudents.com, which I've never used to, but they seem like really helpful websites, so you can click them. I was also in a program called EducationUSA cohort. So basically, on your US Embassy or US Cultural Center, you'll be able to find it. Basically, they teach you about the whole process and everything, and usually some colleges come to the program so you can get in contact with different institutions, and they will tell you all about the scholarships and opportunities. And so I applied to it last year about this time and got my answer like 1 month later. So check it out now, guys, and you might be going to the US with that shebag. There's also a link to the YAS website, Yale Young African Scholars. They give a bunch of schools that have need-based and merit-based scholarships. After you find colleges and scholarships institutions, your second step is to basically apply. So I will be explaining what different types of scholarships exist. First off, there are the merit scholarships. Merit scholarships are the ones that you usually hear about in other countries. So basically, based on your talent, your academics, your extracurriculars, your sports involvement, leadership, or something like that, they will give you scholarships based on that. In the US, mostly public institutions are the ones that give merit scholarships. So you could go to the website and search and see what type of merit scholarships they have. They may have for engineering students, women in STEM, everything. You just need to research the schools. The thing about merit scholarships though is that they may not cover your whole need. They are based on your talent and not really on your need. So for example, if an institution is $50,000 per year, including room and board, the maximum that school can give you on merit scholarships is $10,000. It's not really worth it because you still have to pay $40,000. And man, we're not trying to give dash back, we're trying to get dash back. So I would advise you to mostly apply to need-based scholarships, but you can also apply to merit scholarships if you think that they will meet your full need. There are a couple of institutions that give merit scholarships that are full tuition, room and board, and even living stipend. The MasterCard Foundation, I wish that I had applied to it. Like, I have 3 friends that have got the MasterCard Foundation scholarship, one that is studying in the US, another in Canada, and the other in Mauritius. So definitely apply to it if you're an African student and you're low income. Some public institutions also give merit scholarships that cover room, board, and tuition. So you need to search them up. I know about Case Western, which I would apply to, but I ended up not, but they have that. There are also a couple of institutions which I don't remember at the moment, but the links down below have a lot of merit scholarships based schools. There is some merit scholarships that will only that will cover the full tuition, and there are merit scholarships that will only cover half, and other that will only give you 10,000. Like, we don't care about those. We're only applying to the ones that will give you all this money that they can. The next section is need-based scholarships. So need-based scholarships are the ones that I really advise you to apply to. They see the income of your parents, and then they calculate the amount of money that you can contribute towards that cause. So for example, they will see how much they usually pay for different things, like for example your schooling, living stipends on your country and everything, and then they will calculate a certain amount of money that you should contribute. So most of the need-based scholarships institutions are private institutions, and usually the top tier institutions are the ones that give the most money to international students. Basically, they have a huge ass endowment, so they will also give you a lot of money. So I would really advise you to apply to private institutions. I would only advise you to apply to institutions that cover 100% of your need. The ones that don't, they're not worth your time. Unless you want to go into loans and everything, but I don't really think that that's the way to go. We are trying to get that bag. Get the bag. So only apply to institutions that cover 100% of your need. You also need to pay attention when you find the list of institutions that you want to apply to. Then you go to Google and, for example, Bottle University scholarships for international students, because the laws are different for US citizens and for international students, because some schools will give a lot of money to US citizens but they won't give it to international citizens. So you need to know what the rules are specifically for you. And then there is need blind versus need aware institutions. So most of the institutions are need aware for international students, which is really a bummer. Basically, what need aware means is that when they're evaluating your application and if you will get into the school or not, they evaluate the amount of money you need. So if you need a lot of money, they might not accept you just because you have a really big need, which is a bummer. You might be curing cancer, traveling to the moon, but if you have a high need and they don't have the money that they can give to you, you might be denied, which is a bummer. But that doesn't make it impossible to get into the schools. It makes it harder, but not impossible. And I trust that all of you are the G's, so you will get into despite all of the odds. You should definitely apply to need-aware scholarships, but you need to be aware of that aspect. So you need to really bump up your application in order to be considered. Even they are harder to get into, if they accept you, they will meet 100% of your need. It's harder, but if you get in, you won't have to worry about money and everything. Then there are need blind institutions. There are only 6 institutions that are need blind for international students in the US. Those are Princeton, Yale, Amherst, Harvard, Dartmouth, and MIT. So those are the golden book to you not having to worry. Basically, if you get into those institutions, your life is fulfilled. You don't have to worry that much about money because they will definitely meet 100% of your need, and you're not at a disadvantage for applying to them just because you're an international student and you need that bag. So definitely apply to at least one of those because it will be easier to get into as an international student. It is definitely still hard because it's like 5% acceptance rates, but I trust that all of you will be able to get in because you are the G's. Those are basically the concepts that you need to have in mind when you are searching which schools and institutions you want to apply to. As I said before, the links are down below for a lot of scholarships opportunities. Just run it up. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful. Subscribe down below, like, comment, and share it with other people that might need this information. We're all winning in this together. Stay safe.